Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you both for your work on this issue and for your frank assessment of the challenges associated with success. And that really is the topic of our next panel. And as the panelists come up, I just want to set the stage here a little. We hope that you got excited about the opportunities for electric vehicles in the first session. And in this session, we're going to talk about where are we now and what are the challenges in trying to realize the potential. I will introduce only one of the people up here, just like in the last session, the moderator, whose name, Juliet Alperin, is known to anybody who lives in Washington, D.C. and pays attention to energy and environment issues. I have to say, Juliet is astonishingly and intimidatingly productive. Anybody who follows her bylines will find day after day thoughtful pieces on energy and environment. And now, as I understand it, she is also spending half of her time covering the McCain campaign. And she's here moderating our session. I appreciate that. We appreciate that very much. One reminder for those in the live webcast audience, you can send your questions to electricvideo2008 at atlanticmedia.com. That's electricvideo2008, all one word, at atlanticmedia.com. We are going to start this session with a wonderful video. We have had an outpouring of interest in this topic and in this conference from the Hill, with lots of offices calling to express their interest and enthusiasm, and we're honored to have a special video statement to open this session from Senator Evan Bayh. Thank you.
For your leadership in addressing this issue of profound national significance. Our dependency on foreign oil affects our country adversely in so many different ways. From a national security standpoint, it is dangerous to be as dependent as we are on imports of petroleum. We're more dependent today than we were on 9/11. That's completely unacceptable. The amount of money we pay for imports of energy, gas and oil, is a major contributor to our trade imbalance. It puts pressure on our currency, causes interest rates to go up, and our economy to be more sluggish than it otherwise would. It's a major contributor to greenhouse gases and global warming, and it's pinching family budgets and business budgets and harming the quality of life across our country. So something must be done, and federal leadership is vitally important. The marketplace is beginning to respond. I'm proud of companies like General Motors, Ford, and others for their plans to begin introducing plug-in hybrids, but they need the incentives to press forward on a more timely basis. State governments are interested, but they're not in a very good position to lead. So those of us in Congress and in Washington have to step up and do our part. I was proud to be a part of a leadership group that last year began to take the first significant steps to encourage plug-in hybrids as a part of America's energy solution. $95 million were appropriated for ports, airports, truck stops, so that vehicles can begin plugging in rather than idling and wasting energy. We have incentives to purchase plug-in hybrids. That will help to spur the marketplace. And the federal government will take the lead by being a major procurer of plug-in hybrids, creating that critical mass of demand so that the market can then flourish and mature. All of these things are vitally important to our country. I have twin 12-year-old boys. I fully expect that one day they will be purchasing plug-in automobiles for their own use. That will be good for their future. It will make a more secure America. That's what this conference is all about. And that's why I want to thank all of you for participating and allowing me these few moments to be with you. God bless and good luck.
Thanks so much. You know, in journalism, we care about accuracy, so I'm going to start this panel with a correction, which is that the correct URL for commenting, if you're watching the webcast, is electricvehicles2008 at atlanticvideo.com, so just so you can help participate. Now, I'm going to do a rapid introduction. You have the bios of everyone, but for people who might be watching the web, and I'll just give a brief introduction. Everyone's going to give brief remarks, and then we'll go to questions. So immediately to my left, we have Felix Kramer, who's an entrepreneur and lifelong environmentalist, concentrating on innovative ideas, events, and businesses in energy and technology. He builds ambitious and first ever projects and companies. And in 2002, working with entrepreneurs, environmentalists, engineers, and drivers, Kramer founded the nonprofit California Cars Initiative to put plug-in hybrid vehicles on the map through technology demonstrations, advocacy, and buyer demand. Next to him is Thomas Kuhn, who's president of the Edison Electric Institute, which is an association of investor-owned electric companies whose members generate and distribute approximately 3/4 of the nation's electricity, and I'm always bothering people in his shop, so it's great to have him on the panel. Alan Madian is an economist, management consultant, and investment banker who has provided services as a policy advisor, strategy, and implementation consultant, financial advisor, and expert witness for more than 3 decades. Then, next to him, we have Bill Reinert, who's National Manager of Advanced Technology for Toyota Motor Sales, USA. His primary function is to coordinate Toyota's various research, development, and marketing activities related to alternative fuel-based vehicles and emergency technologies. And then at the end, last but not least, we have Marianne Wright, who's Vice President and the General Manager of Hybrid Systems for Johnson Controls, and also leads the Johnson Controls Salt Advanced Power Solutions joint venture. Ms. Wright joined the company in March 2007 and is responsible for accelerating the growth and executing the launch of hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and electric vehicle battery programs with an emphasis on state-of-the-art technology, manufacturing, and electronics integration. So with those brief introductions, I'm going to have people give opening statements, and then just the one framing question, which I'd like to pose as you talk about your different perspectives, is as someone who simultaneously is covering energy and environment and the campaign, I've spent quite a lot of time with John McCain and a little time watching Barack Obama talk about how technology is essentially, in many ways, going to help save us from two of the problems facing the nation, which would be climate change and dependence on foreign oil. And so they talk extensively about these issues, about plug-in hybrids, and I'm interested in, how much can we depend on the technology that we're here to discuss today to work to ease those two questions, and how close are we to reaching implementation on a broad scale? And so with that, Felix, if you want to start out.
Good afternoon. In 2006, we brought a plug-in hybrid car to Washington, D.C., and we showed it to senators and congresspeople. I never imagined we'd have this level of interest 2 years later. The message we were given then was that this makes sense now because of what electricity has going for it: cleaner, cheaper, domestic. The message was, we can do this now, here's a car. And the message was, we don't need new technology, we can use better technology, but it's good enough now, and we don't need a new infrastructure, we don't need technical breakthroughs. This plug got a lot of laughs at a House Science Committee, and Jim Woolsey later said, yes, every family will have to invest in the new infrastructure, they'll have to buy an extension cord. So our mission has evolved since then to successful commercialization as soon as possible, and each of those has a significant meaning. We are going to see an explosion of plug-in cars of all kinds between 2010 and 2012.